My organic traffic dropped. Why and how to fix it? This is the room for the day, and thank you for being here. I'm excited that we are going to dive deep into the reasons why you can fall traffic-wise and your organic traffic can drop. Also, it can pick up. So those are two metrics that you could use or think about between the two to know exactly which one is the best for you long term. So we're going to discuss this topic today. And more importantly, we're going to bridge in the reasons why your organic traffic is dropping. Now, organic traffic is something that happens organically. Of course, it's organic. But what's more important about the organic results that you get are from the seeds that you plant. So, right, if you plant seeds in the ground and those seeds are going to germinate mango fruits or mango trees or orange trees or apple trees, those trees are trees or called apple trees or mango trees because you planted a seed. So if you use the same analogy, welcome Anna and Rama, thank you for being here. When you use the same analogy for your content and you realize that you have an article on your website, you have a page on your website that maybe, let's say you have a product on your website, and this product, this website, this web page is generating a lot of traffic. More importantly, actually, it's generating a lot of engagement. Welcome, Lady Erin. Because you're creating consistent content workflows that people are going to find your content in the future. Just like you plant a seed today, you're not expecting to eat from that fruit tree tomorrow, right? It may take you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but you know that for the next 50 years, you're going to be good. So you're planning for the future. Organic is for the future. Paid is for now. So if your organic traffic is dropping, it's because there's some metrics that haven't been reevaluated or you have not refreshed the cycle, because there's usually a 24-month cycle for organic traffic. So let me just give you that wide scope. So when you think about 24 months, that's 2 years. So content that you're seeing today on Google is because someone wrote that content 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And they're still updated today because they still have access to those websites and they have access to those web pages. So you can have the same access too. And if you realize your traffic is dropping, then you have to look at some things and ask yourself, what are the things that are making my traffic drop? And then you have to also look at that based on also seeing the actual traffic map and looking at your search results too. If you go to your website, are you able to know which pages are ranking, which pages are not ranking? Are you able to decide and say, what's going on with this page, with that page, hierarchy, in content for people consistently? So if your organic traffic is dropping, it's because there's something that you're not checking. Before, this post was popping, this post was showing up everywhere. Now it's nowhere to be seen, and you wonder, why is it dropping? Now, the reason why it's dropping is because that content is not as fresh as it used to be. And that usually takes about 24 months for you to really see that, because you're supposed to have a positive trajectory line that goes upwards diagonally. That way, every month you look at your traffic, it should be going upwards. That's what Google Search Console does. It says you have traffic, you have 5 impressions today, you have 10 impressions tomorrow, you have 50 impressions next month, you have 5,000 impressions next year. However it's going to look like. It may look like 50 million for you, it may look like 50,000 for somebody else. But your traffic is highly dependent on the proportional amount of pages you have to translate that into traffic cumulatively, because each and every one of those links are different. One link may be bringing in 1,000 impressions, another one may be bringing 100 impressions. That's 1,100 impressions. So that's still a lot because you're adding these impressions over time. So imagine if every page is generating impressions and you have 10 pages and 10 out of 10 are generating all. Imagine if you have 2 out of 10 pages that are generating a lot of traffic. Imagine what it would look like with 10 over 10. So it definitely changes everything. What's up, Rocky? Welcome, Fredo. How are you, Rocky? What you thinking?
I just realized I had my Rodecaster plugged up but not my microphone. I was talking and I was like, why don't I see my ring? I don't know. Are we talking Google Search Console? If you are, I'm excited. I haven't been in there in a while.
Yes, we are. We're talking about Google Search Console. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. Long time. Rosalind, good to see you as well. Nisi, welcome to Clubhouse. I see you got a party hat. I'd like to welcome you to the app. Hope you're enjoying yourself here. To Wilson, thank you for being here and being a member of the Marketing Club very soon after you cash in your ticket. So thank you for being here and joining us today. Brandon, where have you been? How are you, man? I think I saw you on Twitter, X, somewhere, Threads, and that was the last time. And I was like, where's Brandon? How are you, man? Long time. No see. Hope you're well.
Hey, Favour, did you hear me? I'm not sure if you did hear me. Just opened up the app for the first time in a very long time, I'll be honest. I saw it the other day too, and looks like things are a little bit better here. Am I right or wrong? Or
Yeah, things have changed, really changed. Now we have coins. People are sending each other things like on TikTok. It's pretty different. We have hallways that are looking a little different. You can actually now do incognito mode, so you can hide yourself and get into a room anonymously. A lot of things have changed, and they're still updating new stuff. Now there's a whole Clubhouse Plus that you can have as well, and I'm sure they're also bringing new tiers to the app too. So a lot is changing, but it's good. I feel like it's better. Sometimes people don't like change, and that's okay, but I think where we are right now is definitely not where we were 5 years ago or even 6 years ago on Clubhouse. So yeah, it's definitely a big change.
interesting. Yeah, no, I've been on X for the most part, but X is getting really, really repetitive and just boring, and people are saying the same shit.
That's why I'm not on X. I feel like I'm just there. I'm just there because I have an account there. I'm not really active because I've been there for a long time, back when it was Twitter days. So yeah, it's not the same at all. But I would say Threads would be a better place to be if you want to think about discovery. So I would swap Threads with X if I was to stay somewhere like that, if I'm thinking about community. But I just can't imagine. Actually, this is what I'm thinking out loud right now. Imagine if Threads turns into X, where this is just a wishful thinking thought. It's not happening, guys. So don't check this anywhere. This is just wishful thinking. You just imagine if Threads, they have communities right now, but just imagine if Threads actually had live communities where people can do stuff on Clubhouse, but on Threads, in communities that they can build, kind of like a Reddit, but now doing that on Threads, and then doing what X is doing, where you can have spaces, but Threads have their own type of space. That would be crazy.
But is Threads even popular like that? I don't hear too much about Threads.
Well,
I mean, I love it. I love it for I'm just not over there as much as I used to. I mean, I'm on all the platforms, which is probably part of the problem. But for Threads, it's kind of like, I like the fact that you can access the celebrities and they actually talk back, because they don't have that big of an audience as they do on these other platforms. And you can access brands and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know what's going on with Threads.
yeah, Threads is really good. It's a good place for discovery. And I love Threads because it's like TikTok without videos, even though they have videos and stuff like that, but you can really do a lot on Threads. People are even making money on Threads too. It's a really great place to have community. So just imagine if there's a community, but that community owner or community moderator or somebody who can build your own community and merge with others can start to get more organic feedback, because we're going to talk about that today as well in the room. Just because organic traffic, sometimes we think about it and it's only Google, but organic traffic comes from every social media platform, every search engine platform. So it's just how you're going to use a percentage and now bucket each and every one of them, so that you know, okay, I get 20% from Google, I get 1% from Yandex, I get 5% from ChatGPT, I get 3% from Threads. It's going to be there, but it's based on how you're able to translate that text or translate that context to data intelligence, or even creating something scalable within. So yeah, it's not a big deal, Rocky, but people are there.
I will say what I do use it for that has worked, and I know that's not the topic of the room, is I'll see, because you can see how many comments, shares, likes, and all that other kind of stuff in the conversation. Anytime I've taken a high-level conversation and the topic and brought it over to Facebook, my posts have gone viral and I'm able to monetize. So I like that I can see which posts and ideas are trending, so I can bring them on over to my Facebook. So for research purposes, I like Threads.
True. And it's a good place to actually connect and see what people are talking about a topic. Like, I remember when Apple dropped their flagship last year, the iPhone 16, everybody was talking about it, and Threads was a place you can connect, just like you can go to X to look for news. I can't remember what they call them, trending news, or I can't remember the name, but they would have something like that, and then you can use that to know what's going on in your community, because people are just posting it, so you can also curate your feed. So yeah, it's definitely different, Rocky, for sure. Brandon, can you hear us? Mic check 1 2.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, it was weird. After I stopped talking, it went silent, and I assumed you were talking, and then I saw the transcript below. So anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. What are you seeing today in organic traffic, just in your world? What's happening? Because people are always talking about AI and SEO, and is it working? Is it not working? Why is my traffic dropping? What are you seeing and hearing?
So, interesting question, because what I did do, and we haven't caught up in a long time, is I pulled back on SEO and started to do more CMO analysis and CMO kind of work, because companies obviously can't just rely on one channel, and then also it kind of depends on the business. So the question that you just raised, it really depends, right? Organic, like meaning Google SEO or Google organic, still remains significant, because if you look at the stats, Google's still the number one site by a huge margin. But what I did notice is that YouTube has grown to about half the traffic as Google. So, and it makes sense. People are pretty lazy. They like to just watch videos to get answers and stuff like that. So YouTube's grown significantly. Facebook has actually dropped significantly. They used to be at 25 billion. Now they're down to 10 billion. So that's been kind of interesting. Then obviously AI has taken over a lot, but it's really hard to tell statistically how much and how it's impacting. So I don't know if you guys have taken advantage of ChatGPT's new advertising services. I know that they went beta or whatever. I would test that out if you can do that, just to see how AI answers and AI advertising is actually working. But I mean, most of the stuff is still status quo. I'm thinking from a different perspective, because like recently I took on a project evaluating this company that generates like 50 to about 200 million a year, and they're in the fintech space, and their space is completely different from how other spaces work. So it really depends on what you're talking about: individual, small business, scale up, enterprise. And unfortunately, I don't have all the different cases, but I was just talking to somebody, actually, he has 2,000 different clients. So we might be able to find some more data using all those different case examples.
Okay, that just got me thinking, because a lot of companies, when they are using these tools, either they know about it in-house or they're outsourcing it by consultation to implement or integrate systems that they may not be aware of because of how technology is moving and advancing. So I'm wondering, some companies may have those scoops, some may not have that at all. They may get feedback loops too, but depending on which client needs what, you're able to still tweak and build something that you can give back as a report analysis to be able to show, okay, in month 1 or Q1, you were here. Month 2, Q2, we're here. So either way, we're looking at it quarter over quarter, year over year, month over month, then people can be able to see where they're showing up across different platforms, specifically based on where they operate from. Because a company may just be on LinkedIn and Threads. Someone else might just be on YouTube and TikTok. So everyone's going to have their own different thresholds. But sometimes when people think about the companies, when you look at social media, you wonder which social media is doing well. Because some businesses, they leave their Facebook pages dormant for years. They leave their X for years. They don't even know the password, the username to their account, because they used to use it, but no longer is it of use because they've learned or adapted to other things, or have just ignored the whole interface altogether. So that's why I was asking.
Actually, have you ever bought SimilarWeb? gotten a paid account on
I've used
SimilarWeb?
it, yes. I've used it before with clients as well, but not personally for myself, but I have operated with it.
So I decided to drop the 150 or whatever it is, and then I also dropped 200 for SEMrush. Recently, so diving into the paid SimilarWeb account, I mean, you can do all this stuff for free up to like 10 queries or something like. They have a lot of fucking data, excuse my French. So it's been kind of eye-opening. So like one thing that I do regularly, SimilarWeb also produces a top growing companies list every year. And you can grab those top companies, and then if you have a paid account, you can go and dive into figuring out what their sources of traffic are. And they're getting more and more granular in terms of the data. So you can find out what channels they've been using and what they've been leveraging. And so after I get back from this vacation, honestly, that's what I'm going to spend a lot of time on, is trying to figure out, I mean, growth-wise, paid seems to dominate because paid's the fastest driver. Organic is more mid-tier, like, scale up. So one thing that, recently I've kind of realized is organic doesn't really work at the beginning. It works more when you build your brand. So that's something to kind of consider as well. But anyway, I would recommend, if you can, it's expensive, but there's a lot of data within SimilarWeb.
Love that, Brandon. Thank you so much. I'll definitely try that too. And it's good to see where different endpoints are pointing to and pointing from, because everyone is looking at it from different vantage points, especially when you now look at the overall setup of a website. And even when I audit websites these days, I can see that they're not agentic ready, they're not local ready, they're not Google ready, they're not search ready or search bot ready, and they want to rank on these ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity platforms. But when you look at their own infrastructure internally, they don't have any technical setup or foundation for them to even launch in to that kind of ecosystem. So that's why they're getting organic traffic dropping, because they're not able to say, oh, okay, we see why we're dropping. It's not because we're not writing content. It's because the content is not even being seen across different web platforms. Yes, Google has one of the top, if not the most traffic you can ever get on a daily basis when it comes to traffic and engagement. But when people are searching for other data points, Google is still a database that people go back to verify things. So if you're able to be on those platforms and then use the other platforms to now build your organic traffic, it helps, because businesses are not even on Reddit. Reddit is one of the great places you can be on the internet today if you have an account and start posting there to get, I could say, backlinks, which could be no follow backlinks. In a way, I could put it that way, so that you can have that off-page SEO and start having more traffic and citations, not just on your website, but coming from other sources. So you can have LinkedIn. Most people don't use LinkedIn newsletters. That's a place you can really organically show up. If you use LinkedIn and you write newsletters on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn newsletters can show up on Google search when people are searching for information. So not only are blogs listed, but your LinkedIn articles are listed. And if your website is listed in the LinkedIn article, then that's even a double win for you, because you have 2 links or listings within the 10 page. I can even call it the 10 listing per page breakdown. So it's very important to think about those things, because not every company does it and they don't really know why they're doing it. Sometimes they're not able to track it because they don't see the reason to, but it definitely changes when you know that these are the platforms you can use as ecosystems to also build your brand, like you said, Brandon, on creating more avenues of success that people can find you, other than just your website that people can only visit when they're actually looking for something, compared to where they're actually spending time on, which could be Facebook, LinkedIn, and the rest. So I really like that you mentioned that too. Go ahead.
So I have an SEO agency site that's ranked number 1 for Seattle SEO and SEO Seattle for the past 16 years. It was interesting that, just to point out real quick, Google's gotten smarter and smarter, it feels like, as far as figuring out what it is. So now I'm starting to see this SEO company in Seattle traffic that's coming in. Now, with that said, I have not done a lot on the site in the past 10 years. But one reason why it still ranks number 1 is the backlinks, in my opinion. And so if you're not building up enough citations and backlinks and authority points, across the web, whether it's social media or it's getting, other people to basically mention you on their websites and whatnot, you're not going to have the ability to get a lot of your content unless there's very, lacking content for those searches, right? So like, for example, one piece that brings in organic traffic for that agency is top countries that people search for, because I wrote a blog piece about it a few years ago, and it's because there's no traffic, there's no competition that really exists for that, so that's why it ranks. That's the shittiest piece of, excuse my French, I apologize, I'm using too much French today, post on my site, yet it ranks because why? There's no competition. So you can rank for anything that doesn't have competition, and funny enough, there's still not enough content for everything despite AI. So there are those opportunities, but you usually find them out because you just accidentally start ranking for it, right? But if you really, really, really want to rank for organic SEO, it's in the backlinks, in my opinion, and it's still, to this day, I don't see anything that drives the site higher and higher unless you have all those backlinks, just like FYI.
I love that you mentioned that, Brandon. Definitely, your backlinks are your backbone. It's like your back. If you don't have a back, then how are you going to move forward? Like it's the same thing. I look at it from that particular structure, because when you look at your backlinks and you've been featured on magazines, on citations, on awards, you're on Wikipedia, you're on Forbes, you're on CNN, you're on Times, you're on platforms that you've been able to achieve those things, then it also allows your domain to grow even more, because when they now start citing you, it's a good thing too, because your domain authority is going to be based on the number of links that you have that are linking back to your website. So let's say you have 100 backlinks. Let's say you have 1,000 backlinks, 1,000,000 backlinks. All those backlinks are going to be stated between two different partitions. They're either going to be a do follow or a no follow. So right now for you, because you have that, I would say that longevity for the number of years you've had, within now the decades going on by, you still have that same traffic because those domains are still active. And that's why your website is still active and higher in ranking too. If those websites that linked back to you are not active, then those will not be backlinks. Those will be 404 errors. So the good thing is that they're your backbone and you're their backbone, because your link is active, they're linking back to you, and you're linking from them. So they're able to still connect back to you, even though it may look like, okay, this link is just going to be here. But eventually, as people are looking for information about you or about your business, because of those backlinks, you've been able to justify that through content and through trust. People are able to look at your reviews, they look at your blogs, they look at your products, they look at your case studies, they check your LinkedIn profile, they get to know your company profile. All those things also interlink too. So definitely backlinks help, but their backlinks I've seen, like there's someone I saw, their company has about 1 billion backlinks, but they're only generating about 1 visitor a month. So you wonder, is that a backlink? Is it backlink worthy, or is there spam scores in there? So I look at the things and I just don't look at the number of backlinks. I go deep into understanding exactly the quality of the backlinks, because you can have 3 backlinks that are strong and I have 30 that are mid, but you're able to do way more because you have something that can outlast what I've already built. So it's a really good way to measure those two out as well. This is good. Rocky, what you thinking about organic traffic? Just in general.
I don't know. When y'all start using big words like backlinks and all this other website stuff, my eyes cross. Because what are you talking about? I literally sit here to learn. Don't laugh at me, Brandon. And I missed you too, by the way. You've been gone a while. The website stuff, I usually pass over to you because I don't know. I'm a social media person. So I typically, and I never understood backlinks, none of that stuff. What I will say is, as far as organic, what you did for me was focusing on the search engine optimization, and I had no clue about putting your website links on Google Search Console. That like exploded my business, and it gave me information. I'm a marketer, and when it's hard for me to market, I cheat. I use ads. And I just feel like organic is slower, but I also feel like it's necessary because you still need that information. So say I have run an ad to get traffic and someone comes to validate who I am and I don't have a ton of information or organic information about me, then that's something that's going to hurt my brand reputation. But what I will say is, and this is a good question for you, maybe Brandon, because he sounds like he likes using big words too. If I run ads, right, like I'll run my Facebook ads for brand awareness on my Instagram page for one particular post, and it builds my organic traffic because now they're going to be nosy based on that ad that they saw. So they'll click on that ad, but they'll also dive around and search me on the rest of my Instagram page or Facebook or whatever it is. Is that considered good organic traffic if it's coming from a paid entity?
Brandon, you want to go first?
So a couple things real quick. It's not necessarily organic, but it is an opportunity for Google to judge whether or not you're relevant for that search if they, search for you in some fashion. Because every time, whether it's paid or organic, Google is judging you on, if they bounce from the page or if they sit there on the site. Because when they sit on the site, then obviously it's relevant. Now, how they got there is another question. I can't tell you exactly how the algorithm works in that respect, but do note that paid does indirectly contribute to your organic presence if you can prove to Google that it's valid, if that makes sense. The other thing I just want to say real quick, Rocky, good to see you. But as far as backlinks are concerned, a couple quick strategies. If you're a business of any type, you should be in every business directory that exists. You can go to Bright Local, you can go to White Spark, you can use Favour, you can do whatever. You can do it manually. Actually, Bright Local even gives you the actual places to go and register. You need to go out and put your website or your presence, whatever the landing page is, on every single business directory because you're a business. Now, if you're a marketer, well, then you want to look into all the marketing communities or any marketing website. So if you can, find a way to put your profile on every single, marketing site. All your social media, the top social media like Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever, they all have a profile, and you can put the backlink, meaning your site's link to your site. So backlink, all it means is just your website link on another site, but it's coming back to you. And so therefore Google's, giving you credit for more sites that you appear on. The higher the quality of that site, the better the backlink, right? And then on top of that, if you can, with those links, if you can have anchor text that sits on top of that, which means the text that sits on the link that's related to your business, let's say online marketer, for example, for you, or social media expert, then Google sometimes uses a way of determining your anchor text ratio, and then it will give you credit for that keyword. That's the reason why I've been able to get the Seattle SEO Seattle stuff. Is in the early days, I had a lot of friends who would put SEO Seattle or Seattle SEO on their website and then link it to me because I was helping a lot of different companies that were small, and they just do it as a favor. But the more you can get of that, and every category, every adjacent category you can research. One way to do it is literally just look up your competitors, just Google them, and then look through the pages on Google of all the different sites they come up on. And then just, do a quick audit and see if you're on there. If you're not, then get on that site. But if you can do that with all your competitors, aggregate all your competitors, and just, it's a lot of hard work. The reason why I'm number one, or why it remains after 16 years, is because I stayed up till 4 a.m. for 3 straight weeks, just researching, finding all this stuff, and getting myself in there. No one's gotten energized enough to do it, I think, since, and so that's why we still remain there. But back to you, Favour, as far as answering that question.
Oh, Brandon, and I'll add really quick, Go High Level has this prospecting tools where I can do that for any business. It'll pull up the business, and I need to do it from a daggone self. I didn't even think about that, Brandon. Thank you for showing up today. I can put my business in there and see where I'm not listed, and then list my businesses there. And I think the last time I did it for a client, oh my God, it was like 20 different other search engines. I'm like, what are these? Like beyond Yelp and some other ones. There were some local ones as well that were in there. So I'll do that for myself. I'm not going to stay up till 4 a.m., but great idea.
That's hilarious. It's actually when you wake up super early, that's when you get to see those things that happen. I be doing that even on a Sunday evening, early morning. I'm just there putting it out there, and then you realize, okay, it's out. And once it's out there, everybody's waking up and you've already gotten like 3-4 hours of data you could be able to use on the rest of the 24 hours you have in the clock. So it's important to look at it that way and say, okay, if I have 24 hours a day, what am I going to use this first hour for? And organic traffic is growing. It's like when it rains, it pours. And when you start noticing your traffic is growing, that's when you turn on ads. So if you realize that, oh, you have a page that's actually showing up and is driving more traffic, then in 30 days, look at your top 5, then put them on ads, and then you can actually create a catalyst on that. And that's also going to indirectly connect back to your website, because now you have paid and you have organic. Now you're using both of them and you're still growing up in traffic, which is also giving you more brand relevance and also visibility overall, whether you're local, regional, national, or global. So thank you, Brandon, for that share as well. And thank you for being here, Celeste, too. I see you, Yo-Yo in it, wanted to say hello and wanted to see if you have a question. Please feel free, or contribution. The floor is yours. Sorry? I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. So hi guys. I've seen you in the room a couple of times, but I've been too lazy to join because I've been quite busy at work. So basically, I wanted to say it's such a beautiful conversation. I just wanted to drop my own take. And sorry, I'm on the road. Oh, sorry. Can you still hear me? Oh my god. Okay. So yeah. So basically, I wanted to drop my own take in terms of organic. You said my organic traffic dropped and why and how to fix it. But I'm gonna come from a different perspective because I like the fact that you spoke. What's his name? Brandon spoke about SEO, even yourself, and Rocky also spoke about the ads and social media. I think for me, one thing that has worked for me because I was able to garner 70 million views plus across all platforms that I use in the space of 1 year, and it was organic. So basically, I would say one thing that has really worked was how, especially doing it organically and not spending money, not spending as much money, I would say connecting with the people that you want to sell to and getting close to them, solving problems and becoming someone of value to them. That was one way I basically was able to garner so much views for myself and so much search for myself as a person, and people were reaching out to me. But it wasn't basically for a business, but it was just for a personal reason. So, and I also think that so many founders are currently having this problem because I see a lot of tech founders or a lot of business owners struggling with views and visibility. And one thing I would like to suggest is that most people might need to go into founders-led marketing, getting people to know the face behind the brand and building a real-time relationship, because that was one thing I did consistently. And guess what? Many people started referring me and started talking about me, randomly posting my links on their WhatsApp story, their Instagram story, talking about me where I actually didn't know. And that was how I basically did it in the space of 1 year. I just wanted to share that. And yeah, thank you guys.
I think my sound went out. Can you say what you actually did again? I'm sorry.
Wait, can you guys hear me? Or did you guys not hear everything I said?
Or the Wi-Fi, so I lost the last part of what you said. You said you did something and that's how you were to do whatever organically.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Okay, so I said I did connect with the people in my niche. So wherever niche or industry you are, especially if you're starting from like zero, you don't want to spend as much money, or you don't have no money in your bank, but you want to build reach for yourself, because that was what I did. You need to get close to the people in your niche and try to solve a specific problem and start to grow from there, and then be someone of value, like stay consistent. And that was what I was able to do an organic reach of over 70 million without running any sort of ad. And I had great return on investment. I think I'm going to start running ads this year, but Not yet, but I think it's possible when you're a business owner, or maybe you're like a tech founder, you're trying to build some sort of reach. I was also suggesting founders-led marketing, because one of the differences between some businesses currently that I see, some people don't know the face behind the brand. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but if you run ads, yeah, you can bypass that. But if you're starting from zero, you don't really have a budget, because that was, like I said, that was what I did. You have to get close to the people that you are trying to solve a specific problem for. And the referrals pile up over time, and becoming somebody of value really helps, because like I did it myself, because I'm a lifecycle marketer and an email marketing specialist. So yeah, thank you guys.
I love that. Thank you so much. Might I respond?
Yeah, let's go. All right.
Just checking. I love what you said about connecting with the same people in your niche, because I was blown away when I started doing that as far as engagement, not website wise, because again, that's their lanes, but social media, right? And feeding into that, because you know who's looking? The people that are like reading the conversation for their own personal growth. And what I learned about connecting with people in your niche for growth was that you have something to talk about. Like if I was in here and I'm not, and I mean, I'm doing some support and Favour as well. However, I don't have that much to talk about except as it returns to social media. But if I were, say, for example, having a conversation in a marketing group, oh yeah, we're running our mouths. Like we're talking about social media, we're doing, we're going back and forth. It is better engagement, and there are onlookers. So as far as organic traffic, that's one thing that's worked for me as well, is connecting with people in my niche, because it's better conversation, and the people that need the help, they're actually watching the conversation and giving you the follows and the engagement as well, because you are the expert. So I love that share. And then one more thing, I did have another. Let me shut up. Back to you, Phil.
Nah, let's go. Come on, let's go. You got it. Let's go.
I'm all shy now. Everyone's looking at me. As far as this, and this is a question that I have too, because it was interesting to me, because I experienced it, but only on Meta. Okay, I'm sure it's different for Google Ads. Do y'all feel like when you run ads, once you go back to organic marketing, that the traction and the of course the movement's gonna slow down, but I feel like it got worse. Like I had like a rebound effect, and my organic marketing was no longer working anymore. What are your thoughts on that?
When I see it from that perspective, I would first ask, what was the traffic before the lift? So I would look at the traffic before the ad was turned on and after it was turned off, because the difference between, I can even see the margin, it's like fine margin between when the ad was turned on. So before it was turned on, welcome Jasmine, you have ads that are not yet running. So you're depending on organic 100%. So when you are depending on 100% organic traffic and then you add paid traffic to it, of course it's going to, because you get what you pay for. But now the quality of the traffic and what you get after the traffic has stopped is the difference between what you did when you started and when you did after. So I'll give you an instance. Let's say you're running an event, and you have an event and you write an article about an event that you're hosting. Let's say you're hosting it in 90 days from now. Now, this event, you've sent an article, you're driving traffic to this article because you want to explain about the event, the agenda, where to buy your tickets, this and that. I've done this for a company before, so I'm just telling you what I've seen happen and what could happen too, just in general. When you now see that you run ads on that platform and there are tickets that are being sold at $100, $1,000, $10,000, depending on what the ticket is and the ticket type, using your website now allows you to gain more traffic control quality-wise if and only if your website was connected to Google Search Console, also connected to Google Analytics. If you're a local business, you're connected to Bing Webmaster Tools and Bing Places. Bing Places is, I think, the most underrated place on the internet, if not others, because people don't think about Bing Places, they only think about Google Business Profile. So if you have your content across all these different compartments, then you now know that if you stop running ads today, you're not going to lose as much traffic, because if you spend ads, and let's say you did 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, of course, you're not going to get the same amount of traffic because you paid for those ads. But the difference now should be, if you look at a chart and say, okay, by this time last year, around this time, what was my traffic like 3 months after the ad? You can do that at report analysis. So you can go to your search console and say, okay, we're in April now. So if I start running ads from May, June, July, then if I stop running ads after July and I go to August, and then I now point from August this year, from August last year, I'm going to be able to see the difference. And that will tell me whether I'm either dropping or I'm going up. So it just doesn't happen because organic is slow, as most people say, but it progresses and it gradually goes up depending on what you've technically set up with the foundation. So yeah, to your question, it definitely matches, but it's definitely not going to be the same. Celeste, what you thinking?
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, what you thinking?
Hey, Rock. Hey, Favour. Rocky just got my wheels spinning around these meta ads because I'm rather new to it, and like within the last year or so. And I can't say that I'm super tuned into our analytics. But something I have wondered is, you know, as you're promoting your page, as you're promoting your ad, occasionally we'll get like an extra like, right, on our business page. And I feel like, you know, investing in these ads should theoretically increase your quote unquote organic traffic, right? You know, if somebody starts, you know, following you or whatever, I'm working on consistency being key. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it's not adding up, you know? I'm just curious if anyone has ran the meta ads and has seen an increase in following that way. Am I making sense?
Cindy, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I grew by 300, almost 400 followers with an ad that I only spent $60 on. And this is for, do you mind, Favour?
Let's go, Rocky.
I keep asking Favour for permission. This is not my room, not your room, Rocky, not your room. Anyway, what I did, and this is a strategy, write it down because it works. I had an ad. So for example, I have a Facebook monetization course coming up. I knew that. So what I did was I created a very good reel, lots of information, loaded with information. And I ran a brand awareness ad to that Instagram reel, and I'm sure it'll work the same on Facebook. I ran a brand awareness ad to that Instagram reel for $5 a day, and the call to action was to visit my Instagram profile. So when people would watch that reel that I pushed, visited my Instagram profile, and I'm sure they looked at the rest of my information, immediate follow. And so I grew that much. But another thing that I'm doing, and that's why I asked earlier, I think you missed it when I asked that question, is because if you have consistent content, and I think that's the key. A lot of people run ads, but their content isn't contenting. 1 minute you're talking about how to grow on Instagram, the next minute you're talking about your car, your family, you ate a salad yesterday, and it doesn't fit. Whereas somebody will go to my Instagram account and look at Facebook, and then they see 1,000,001 other tips about how to monetize, right? So they stay, they don't leave. No one has unfollowed me. And then it's a double-edged sword, because what I'm doing now is when I have that Facebook monetization class, which I do have, it starts May 16th, I'm now going to retarget all those people that have touched my Instagram account within the past 90 days, and they're in that bubble because they've touched my Instagram account. So now it's giving them exactly what they asked for when they got the information about Facebook monetization. And then on top of that, I've got tons of inboxes for specific issues that they were having because they had no one to teach them Facebook monetization. So a $5 brand awareness ad to your Instagram or to your Facebook page, strictly for them to check out the profile, like the page or something like that. And then after that, it'll build and grow from there. And that's why I asked about the organic after that as well, because I don't want to have to keep running retargeting ads. I need my content to content, and then, you know, build that organic traffic. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I mean, I've been running my ads to like try to get calls. And I've spent hundreds of dollars at this point.
No, don't do that.
And well, I mean, with our business, I feel like it's kind of necessary. But at the end of the day, and that's why I hopped in this room, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to call my business partner in a moment, because y'all have gems I know that I could use. But crap, what was I saying? Oh, at the end of the day, it's our organic market that really converts for us. It's like word of mouth. It's our businesses in New Orleans, and like that is the culture. I'm just trying to figure out like if my digital marketing efforts are worth the squeeze at this rate. So I definitely do need to go out there and market within our niche, because I went to like a learning lunch and learn type thing while I was in town. I live in Hawaii, so I can't always do this. And I met a few other owners and people. Like, it was just so amazing and refreshing when people are like, oh, you're the new owners. I would love to connect. I would love to help fill your house, etc. And the one just reached out again this morning, which was amazing. So organic marketing is so very important, and I need to lean into that more. So hopefully I can join you guys after this call again, if you guys are still on.
So Cindy, real quick, and this is for anybody, but you should test landing pages, like different landing pages. There's landing pages, services, and just figure out what resonates with people, right? Because some of us think that our organic or our traffic, or rather our site, is amazing. But the world will tell you differently via paid opportunities, right? And that's, I use paid for testing, to test to see if ultimately it converts. If it doesn't convert, that means something's wrong with my site or my page, or even the product, by the way. So, and then obviously lean into it more when it works, but regardless, use it to test, and then use these landing pages, different versions of landing pages, different copy, different places. If you haven't, put your page in an F pattern, it's the most basic thing that you need to do, because that's how we read. So anyway, just real quick before I take off, but great to see you, Favour and Rocky, and best of luck to all of you.
Yeah, thank you for that input, Brandon, because I was literally just thinking about that last night. I am very new to all this marketing stuff, and I just learned what a bounce rate is, or whatever. And our bounce rate is pretty freaking high. It's like 54% or something. And I think it's because our home page is not like, it's just kind of like, here's the menu. Whereas I think our about page is where it's going to keep people. So I'll have to figure out how I can like restructure that, so that we actually have people sticking around.
Cindy, I'd love to send you an email. If that's okay with you, you can send me a DM with your email, because I looked at your site, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it Passive Patriots?
Okay, so that is my site. However, that's for a different business. So, yeah. The other one, yeah, definitely needs a lot of work. I'll put it in the chat, but like I said, it's basically a menu on our homepage, and it needs a lot of work. I don't like the way it looks. It's just, right now we're putting out so many fires, and honestly, redoing the website at this very moment is probably not at the top of the list. But I'll send it over.
Can I ask, Cindy, are you in real estate? Something in the real estate?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
what I thought. Okay,
Yeah,
yay.
So
Yeah, I don't know
my
if you have you ever looked into like organic SEO strategies?
Not so much. So my first business is a rental portfolio, and that's doing quite well. It was more a need than a want. And I'll say my second business is a need too for many, but it's new to me. So yeah, the first one, Passive Patriots, that's our rental business. I've never really had to market a ton for that. The second business is assisted living.
Okay, well, I'd ask that just because I know for facts, SEO for especially real estate is so huge. I would highly recommend, and I don't get paid for this, to book a call with Favour. I know you said you had to hop on a call, so I just wanted to make sure to point that out, because I think he could definitely point you in the right direction of some useful tools.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sorry I have to run, guys. But if you're still here, I'll hop back in.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Cindy. Appreciate you. I'll definitely check in too because this is so important to look at. And I was looking at both websites. I can see one's on WordPress and another one is on Squarespace. I'm not even using my computer to see that because I can see what's going on the back end.
Correct.
And and I could see your robots text files, and I could see one of them doesn't have user agents, the other one does. And because both of them are on two different CMS platforms, content management systems, then they're going to operate completely differently from each other because WordPress is open source and Squarespace is closed source. So I'm just going deeper into what I'm looking at, but I'll definitely send you more details so that you can see what I'm seeing, so that you can visually see what I'm explaining about your website and visibility. Because especially with real estate, you're local, especially now, Google just did a discovery core update in February, and they did a March spam update in March, meaning that local businesses are being prioritized higher than just generic websites. So if you have a mall, a restaurant, a assisted living, wherever you are, you're creating content locally, you can also highly gain a lot of visibility and traffic to your website because you're actually serving the people within those vicinities. You can go to a website called serpapi.com. I always tell people to check it out and you will see it for yourself. I'll send you a recording and show you this is where you are. I'll go to your county, I'll go to your state, I'll go to your city, your country, wherever you are in the world. Google is going to show you exactly what's going on, how many people live there and how many people search per day. So I'm able to see all those things, and it allows me to tell you what you should be doing, because if you're spending money, $100, $200, even $5 a day, when you could be earning $5 a day, you'd rather have 10 than 5. So it's really depending on the business and the operation, but those are the things that I technically see before we even spend money on any ads at all, whether it's a billboard or whether it's a meta ad. If you don't have your pixels on, if you don't have your tags on, those are things that we check, because you don't want to drive a car and then have a flat tire halfway through your journey. So that's just safety precaution that we actually just do for you as well. So thank you for that insight, Cindy.
And before we
I
move
appreciate that
on,
feedback.
can I chime in on Rocky's question really quick? Hey, sorry, I was on mute for a while, just running around. Okay, Rocky, you asked such a good question about, like, do you think when you pay for an ad, after that paid ad is done, does your reach or like whatever decrease? And okay, this is just me, and this is just something that I feel like a lot of us think, but we can never prove. I think the answer is yes. The only reason why is because, oh my gosh.
On the record, I think so too.
Listen, if Meta is listening, my reach is going to go hella down after I tell y'all this. You're going to hate me. But listen, okay, I used to be a part of this program called the Meta Leaders Network. I actually used to rant and rave about it on Clubhouse. Like, oh my God, join this thing, right? They basically had like a cohort of business owners, and they did this awesome thing, right? Where they're like, we want to fly you to Washington, D.C., and we'll pay for everything, right? And I actually went 3 different times. They literally paid for the flight, they paid for the hotel, they paid for the food. It was cool, right? But the second time I went, I kind of peeped like, oh, that's what this is about. So listen, y'all. This is very smart, but I want y'all to realize we live in a very capitalistic society, okay? Meta, so this was, I don't think the last time I went was, my baby was a baby. So it was about 2 years ago. And then I went the 2 years prior to that. So remember around this time is when the government was really cracking down on internet privacy, and that was causing a lot of issues with how people would be able to run ads. What does that affect? That affects Meta, right? That affects their bottom line of their profit. And so their bright idea was to send all of us, small business owners from all across the US to tell our heartfelt stories about how Meta has, helped us and helped our middle income and low income families thrive, right? So that they would feel sorry and not really put all these legislative things in place. Well, guess what? It didn't work. And they don't find anybody else out anymore. The more of the story is, I kind of wish that we lived in this like rainbow and sparkle society where it's like, oh yeah, you run an ad and everything will be good. But I just want everybody to remember this all breaks down to capitalism at the end of the day. Like, I hate to be one of those cynical people, but my life has been better once I realized that. I don't get disappointed so much. You would think like these companies would want what's in the best interest of small business owners, but at the end of the day, it's just about profit. So yes, I do believe that that's exactly what happens. They want you to be dependent on those paid ads why would they want you to thrive without them? They want you to keep paying for them. So that's my quick little TED talk. Okay, passing the mic. Sorry, Maida. Don't kill me.
Meta and ChatGPT are really trying to take a lot of energy, but they won't succeed because they'll definitely cite you too, for sure. Nah, I really appreciate you saying that too, Celeste and Rocky, because social media is, people say it's overrated, people say it's underrated. Let me ask y'all, let's see, is social media overrated or underrated? Put in the chat. Overrated, underrated. Overrated, underrated. Let's see. What do you think,
Third
Rocky?
selection. Annoying.
Third selection is crazy. What's up, David?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
Do you have a question?
I'm just listening to your people.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Coach Z says underrated. Jasmine is like, I don't know. Okay. So we got Rocky was 3. So we'll call that
Which one were you, Rocky? I missed it. I'm on the fence.
1 and 2 are not even in this. I mean, 3 was not in the option list.
I was saying annoyed by it. That was number 3. For my business, overrated. Only because of what I've done, because I'm a marketer and a digital marketer and a social media marketer, and the pandemic ruined it for the real experts because there's so many COVID experts. But I will say underrated in the sense that I'm actually earning money from the platform. So I'm making more money through the Facebook monetization, TikTok shops, and all those different things. So I'm making money. It just isn't with my business. It's from the platform itself.
Okay, so Les, what do you think about the overrated versus underrated, especially for ads, if you're going to compare with SEO?
Oh, you mean for ads? Did you say for ads the first time?
Ah, he trapped you, Rocky.
Them enough, with intention.
Okay, so Les?
You know, I always have to give this like deep ass answer. I'm sorry, I'm working on it, y'all. I think that for businesses, don't laugh at me, Rocky. I think for businesses, the problem is they have false expectations. So that's why it becomes overrated, right? They run an ad and they get all upset because they're like, oh, my ad, I didn't get enough money. I didn't make any sales. When it's just like, okay, that's not always the point of running the ad. Like they don't understand like the systematic approach of even running an ad. So that's the reason why I feel like, overrated, because I'm tired of hearing people whine about it. You know, Pepsi doesn't just run one ad, right? They run it over and over and over and over again until it's stuck in your brain. So when you're thirsty, you're like, oh, let me go down the aisle, oh, Pepsi, right? That is like the psychology of advertising. So I just try to drill that into people's heads. It's like, listen, marketing in general is not just a one-time thing. You don't just spend $80 on an ad and be like, oh, great, now I made all this money. Like, no, you got to get people in your ecosystem. I think, Rocky, the point that you made was so good. You didn't run the ad to be like, call me today, right? You were like, hey, come look at what I got. People leaned in and they were interested and they're like, let me see more. So you were able to use that ad to get more eyes on what you got going on. And then from those eyes, you continue to cultivate like, all right, now this. That's kind of a better strategy. So that's why I kind of think it's a little overrated. That's my answer. Passing it back.
Okay, I'm thinking if it's overrated, underrated, and it's based on what you're using it for, then the real question is why? Because some people run ads for sales. Like you said, Celeste, companies, they run ads multiple times. We just run one ad and we're expecting to match against 20 different creatives. It's going to be like comparing apples to oranges. But if you're able to see what they're running ads on and then you build organic traffic for the same thing, then you're able to measure up even later because you have a longer lifespan. Because those ads they're running are campaigns. Those campaigns last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, 365 days in a year, fine. But when that ad turns off eventually, then it's going to get to a point where your organic starts to, I would say, create more opportunities for you. Because now you're not just depending on the ad, you're depending on now your organic feedback. And organic feedback, the more feedback you get means that the trust signals are higher. And if you have higher trust signals, then it means your domain authority is also high. So having high domain authority, which is just another way of saying how credible is your website. Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate you. Having a great website, having great searchability, meaning that you have great content on your website that people can search for and find that are active, and also not having broken links, not having duplicate links, not having links that people cannot be able to find. So the mission is to look at your website and think of it as an ecosystem. Imagine if you wanted to go to the kitchen, or if you wanted to go to a specific room and you can't walk into that room because you don't have the key to that room. You have access to the door, but you don't have access through the door. So if you're now looking at it from that long-term perspective, it's how are you able to create more content that if you ever run ads on those platforms, then you're actually gaining more. Sometimes you may end up on that platform and it's not the best. You have to think about how are you driving traffic to the point where you're like, okay, if we're going to drive traffic for the purpose of creating more intentionality, then let's create the content that people can find. If we ever run ads on them, it's just going to be an accelerated measure as opposed to it just being the only measure. So it definitely changes everything that you think about with your business. So this is good. This is really good. I'm glad we were able to talk about this. I was just asking that to know what are your thoughts on the difference between the two. But if you're running a business, don't run ads first. Run organic campaigns. Create content first. Build links. Build trust. Because if I have a conversation with you and I can't trust you, you think we're going to have another conversation? It's going to be hard. So the conversations you're going to have by organically connecting with people, thanks for the applause, Jasmine, you create that trust with the search bots, you create trust with the search engines, and you also create trust with the searchers. That's you and me. So we are doing this search together because we're looking for something. So if we're able to find the same thing and more people find the same results, those are different IP addresses, those are different devices, those are different screens, those are different people. So if you're on someone's website, and that's how when people say you broke the internet, because everybody's on the same site at the same time. And that's tracking. So anytime you drop something new, of course it's going to shoot up because people have seen you before. So it's like, oh, another track. It's like your latest, let's say your favorite musician or your favorite athlete or your favorite celebrity or your favorite actress or actor drop something and you want to watch the movie. Like Michael Jackson is out now with the movie. People want to watch Michael. So you start realizing, okay, people are going to watch this movie because ABCD. So that organic traffic is going to bless you, is going to help you, is going to benefit you in the future because you put in the work today. So you can't just have a traffic that's, I would say, like it's growing in massive sizes if you don't have links to back it up, because your links is really what's going to tell you what kind of traffic you get. So that's just a good way of looking into it and actually measuring the two as well. Celeste, what would you say on that when it comes to measuring them out?
Oh, I have to in the chat.
Oh.
Like what you said. But I just know, like, you were talking about the ads and, like, you know, expectations, and I was just thinking how I have noticed a lot of advertisers are becoming really, really clever with this whole retargeting thing. Like, it's been, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but have you spent just like a few extra seconds longer than you would on every other piece of content you're scrolling by? Then all of a sudden, just every other post is that same thing. It's like, okay, like, I get it, but Jesus, like, give me a sec to breathe. Anyhow, I think it's a great strategy, though. A lot of people do not use retargeting enough and understand, like, the psychology behind that. So I love it, even though I'm, like, you know, still, as a marketer, I get it. So back to you.
Thank you, Celeste. You said, or if all else fails, bug them to death with retargeting. That's crazy. With retargeting, that's where you actually get the sales. And that's what these people who run ads will tell you about in webinars don't tell you. So they won't really tell you that that's where the actual rewards come in. Because when you're running ads to cold traffic, you're going to get what you get. If they don't know you, they don't know you. But if they know you and they sign up and now they're in your email list and now you're sending an email to them and they'll now go on Google and look for you and they find you, or they ask ChatGPT or Siri and they're looking for something about what you said and they find you there, they're going to come back to your email and pay for whatever you talked about. Because people are not just searching on Google and going home. People are going to Google, then they'll go to Reddit, then they go to YouTube, then they go to TikTok. Before you know it, they're on ChatGPT. Before you know it, they're on Perplexity. People are using everything that they can, or they won't use it all. They'll use what they're already used to. Some people stay with Claude. Some people stay with Manus. Some people stay with ChatGPT. People search on Google. People search on YouTube. So all these different platforms are pulling into each other. And if you're going to be able to create content, whether it's text, audio, video, or image, then that's where you can really think about your organic traffic rising and not dropping. But if your organic traffic starts dropping, just know you have something called content decay. What does that mean? Content decay means that if the lifespan of this post is 24 months and now we are 52 months in, that means we've gone past 2 years and you've never updated this article from the first time you published it, then the decay is because you haven't republished, you haven't updated, you haven't modified, you haven't renovated. It's like looking at your house and you've not renovated your house in the last 10 years. So if you're going to renovate your house, then the value of that house is going to increase because of what you have renovated within the territory. So if you're doing the same thing on your website, the value of your website is going to also appreciate in value, in traffic, in time, in engagement, in leads, because you keep writing content or you keep updating content that people keep coming back for. That's the key. So when we work with you for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months, the goal is to make sure that whatever we leave after the first quarter, the second quarter should be able to equate to your next year, because you should not be saying the same thing this year, next year, when you already said it once. The problem is most times people keep posting social media. Oh, it's Black Friday. Oh, it's Easter. Oh, this is 4th of July. Oh, it's Christmas, because they have to post it to stay relevant. But imagine if you posted it and now people are looking for you instead of you looking for them. That's when everything changes, because all you're now doing is highlighting, you're emphasizing, you're elaborating, as opposed to stating, defining, or calculating. So you're already past that stage. And each year your website is active, you should be able to gain more traffic over and over and over again. So whenever you run ads if you want to, but that's going to test it. It's not going to result into sales, but it's going to result into traffic signals that will guarantee the sales. So when you look at it that way, it changes everything completely, because I don't run ads. I have not run ads this 2026. We help clients run ads, but I personally have not hit publish ad, because organically it grows. And I'm talking about the same thing every year. So it's not like I'm trying to repeat myself. I'm only emphasizing what I've already said before. And because, of course, SEO is not the same every time, there needs to be an update. So these are the things that we need to think about so that your organic traffic does not just drop. And if it drops, it's because you have content decay, you have page decay, pages that haven't been updated in years, they haven't been modified, they have not been submitted to Google, they've not been indexed, they've not been tokenized, they've not been structured, they've not been implemented, they've not even been used as an email, they're not in a podcast, they're not anywhere. It's going to be hard to see that scalability. So it's good to start now so you don't have to worry about it later as well. Celeste, what would be one big takeaway you'd give someone that's thinking about this and wanting to take the next step in their journey?
Oh my gosh, this was such a good room. I'm mad I didn't come right at the beginning, because when I hopped in, there was such a good convo going on that I was just listening. But I really like Brandon. He had a lot of good points about checking out your competitors. I think that a lot of us have this like out of sight, out of mind strategy when we talk about our competitors. But if you kind of, peek around at what's going on, especially the ones that are doing really well, you might pick up on some strategy you never thought about. This is one thing that I always tell people. When I do strategy sessions with people, when we look at their SEO, one of the first things we do is see who's already ranking and how are they ranking. So if you don't know, I help you with organic SEO every now and then. And we literally do an analysis on who is ranking organically number one and what went into that. One of my most favorite things, I didn't come up with it. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. That's my takeaway. All right, back to you, Favour.
I love that, Celeste. That's a good one. Thank you so much for highlighting this too. And Brandon definitely it was good seeing Brandon. I haven't seen him in years, so it was refreshing to see even the OGs of Clubhouse come into the room once in a while. So thank you guys for being here. I'll give you guys an action step to take too that you can take home, just like Celeste said and Brandon said, Rocky said this too. Check your competitors and how you can do this for free. All you're going to spend is your time. I'll say put 5 minutes aside. If you have 25 minutes, even better. But put 5 minutes aside at the very least. And each search should take you at least 30 to 60 seconds, right? So if you spread out 5 minutes and say, okay, I got 1 minute for each competitor, right? You can put a timer. I mean, you don't have to do this specifically, but just time yourself so that when you spend 5 minutes, you know what you're spending your time on. So if you go to Google, then type in site, SITE : type in your name or type in your business name or type in more specifically your domain name. So if your domain is abc.com, then you go to site : no space, abc.com, hit enter. Then you're going to see all the pages that Google is knowing you for, which is your website if your website is ABC. Then do the same thing, replace abc.com with the domain that you want to compete with, or the domain that you feel like is in your competition range. Then you now put their domain and hit enter. Now, what you'll notice is that the pages that show up on page 1, page 2, and page 3 are going to be where you're going to notice a lot of activity going on for their sites. Either you're going to see their contact page or their services page or some type of page that's driving traffic. It might be a product page. It might be a page that is specifically connected to their account. Those pages within page 1, 2, and 3 are important. If you want to even go a step further, if your AI can do this, tell AI to use the search operator. That's what it's called, a search operator. Then you put in parentheses or you put in quotation marks that what I said, site : domain.com, then close paragraph or close citation or even close quotation mark. When you have that and you tell it to do for this, so you can list all the 5, and then you can let your AI run the check, and then you can now tell the AI, or if you're doing it yourself, to now decide on what are the top 30 listings on each of these search result pages. And then you can now benchmark them together and then compare the differences between them. When you compare the differences and see which one or what are the similarities and what are the differences between them, you can even tell AI, create a table and give me the similarities and the differences between these first top 3 pages across these 5 different competitors. When you do that, you will realize, okay, some of them have reviews, some of them have FAQs, some of them use glossaries, some of them have images, some of them use video, some of them are on YouTube. You'll get to see those different things and then ask yourself, what are you not doing? And then within those 5 minutes, if you have the rest of the hour, you can now use the rest of the 55 minutes to now double down on what you just found in the first 5. So it's just a good way to really see how you can strategize your business and get to know exactly what others are doing and what you're not. That way, content-wise, you're not losing traffic, because every website that is ranking somewhere has a date of a published modified date. So if they have a published date or a modified date, then you have to also factor in when yours was published, when yours was modified. That's what's going to be the key that's going to change everything. So I would say your published, it would be your last, let me say it this way, your last published would be the back 2 wheels of your car. And your last modified will be the front 2 wheels of your car. The front 2 wheels of your car, you can steer left or right. When you're driving, the back 2 wheels do not move left or right. They move according to how the front 2 wheels are. So if your last modified is last updated today, then that means everything that you have is going to move in that direction. So when you do that consistently, it will help your business grow and you'll be able to see more for yourself long term. So try that out. Use that search operator. And if you could use that time and spend it well, then you'll be able to tell me or let me know. Send an email to me. You can send an email to info@playinc.online, or you can just message me here on Clubhouse, or just go to LinkedIn. You'll be able to connect with me and we can talk about all the things that you need. So I'm glad that we talked about these things in detail and we were able to like really break this down. So thank you for being here and appreciate each and every one of you for sharing with us today. Ike, wanted to say hello. I wanted to know if you had a question or compliment or suggestion or anything, feedback, feel free. Welcome to Marketing Club.
No, I don't have any suggestions, sir.
Okay.
Can you put me through?
Sorry?
I'm listening, sir. You want to say something, sir?
People are just coming in, speaking. I mean, it's lunchtime, so I'm happy that at least people are coming up to speak. That it's a wild, wild west. This clubhouse, being here for 6 years, you still get surprised. So it beats me, but it's all good.
Listen, just FYI, I don't think we ever talked about it, but I'm the bouncer up in this club. That's all.
It's not me. So just giving y'all the FYI. You see, Ike, you're coming. Ike, if you come up here again.
No. We're winding down. We don't got time for these shenanigans.
We're not have. You see the bouncer just spoke. So if you have anything to say, put it in the chat because we're about to go. And Celeste is like, we gave you a chance, and whatever happened. You know, this clubhouse is very interesting. So if you have a question, put it in the chat. We're going to give you 2 minutes. And if you have something that you're actually writing in the chat, that's what we're going to talk about or listen to, great, because we're about to go and we don't want to keep you waiting. I want to give you your time back. Don't you want your time back? Don't you want to do something else with your day? I want to give that back to you. You know, I'm not here to take your time at all. So thank you so much for being here and listening to this conversation. My organic traffic dropped. Why and how to fix it? I hope you can fix it. If you can't fix it, we can fix it for you. And just reach out to me, send me an email, and then we can talk about it. Or more importantly, click the link at the top and that will take you to my link where you can actually connect with me and you can get on a call or subscribe to the newsletter and get information like this. I send out emails and connect with people that are able to understand these concepts because it gets very, very complicated sometimes. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the conversation today. We'll be back again tomorrow. So if you have a question, please be back here tomorrow and we'll definitely do it. And also, Ike, for you to be here too, as well, if you want to be part of the conversation, please make sure you join the Marketing Club so you can cash in your ticket. At the very top, hit Marketing Club. Join us. We're about 353,750 members in here. So please feel free to join us and be part of the conversation. Maneth too. And thank you so much for being here to Celeste, Coach Z. Thank you as well, Miss Erica. Thank you, Jasmine. And thank you, Fredo, as well for being here. You're all appreciated. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. And I'm going to see you guys on Thursday. Bye for now. Welcome to season 13, where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. A lot of information is always given on this show. So we're in the 13th season. God has brought us so far, and I just want to thank God for the opportunity to connect with you today on such quiet, calm space like this. So thank you for listening. Know that Jesus loves you. And know that you can always connect with me on the We Don't Play Podcast show. More specifically, go to WeDon'tPlayPodcast.com or you can go to playinc.online. That is PLAYINC.online and get in touch with me. Let's get on a call. Let's talk. Let's focus on SEO for 2026 and beyond. So until we meet in the next episode, God bless you. Jesus loves you. Stay hydrated, stay safe, and stay blessed, and stay tuned. Bye for now.